Welcome to Vibrate. I'm Amy. I am a longtime intuitive astrologer and trauma therapist. I'm also a frequency guide and the founder of Trine, a holistic brand where we use astrology for healing as our foundation. This isn't a podcast, it's a transmission, it's a portal, it's a loving energy field designed to awaken your highest vibration. Listen to receive vibrational attunement to what's present in the cosmos, in your nervous system, and in the new earth field we're all curating together through love and frequency. Let these transmissions move through your body, awaken your soul being, activate your life codes, and guide you home to wholeness and to your place in the everything. If you're ready to go deeper, you can join the temple at trine-healing.com or text the word vibrate to 720-927-7722. This will be featured in the show notes as well. Let's begin. Okay, this full moon in Aquarius brings personal, emotional connection and information to us from a variety of very intense, complex, rare, multi-layered, multi-dimensional solar system weather. So I'm always looking at the current transits as like a solar system weather flare when planets are in relationship to each other from different locations in the zodiac wheel. And those configurations give us the feeling in the collective. Like, I always tell people, like, how did it feel when you're driving today? Or if you went to a yoga class, what did it feel like? Was it busy? Was it quiet? Was it intense? Was it inward? And you're reading the astrology, even if you don't know the transits. But the reason I really wanted to hop on here tonight for this full moon, by the way, the full moon is in Aquarius and it's overnight tonight. It's if you're in mountain time, it's 1:55 a.m. If you're in Hawaii, that's still on the 8th. But I get the time so mixed around when I'm trying to do different. I'm not going to worry about doing different timelines or time zones. Anyway, okay. So I want to share my screen. Well, I'm doing this on two different platforms. So for my Instagram friends. Can you guys see that? This is how much is going on. It's a lot. Also, I'm going to be talking about a kite configuration that I've drawn here that looks like this. And the kite involves 5 planets. There's 2 at the tip of the kite, 1 at either of these side points of the kite. And then the personal planet Mars activator is at the bottom. And I'm going to be talking about this position being activated by different personal planets coming up over time. Okay, just to give you a little bit of a preview. So many different screens happening. Okay, so full moons, let's just start simple. What are we talking about with a moon? A full moon is a completion, an endpoint, a culmination, a release, an illumination. This one feels especially, the Leo, the sun is in Leo, the moon is in Aquarius, so that axis is an air-fire axis. So it's air into fire is fire. So it's a very fire moon. If you have a way to safely work with a little fire ceremony, like even a candle situation, that is a really great way to work with this full moon. The full moon always brings the intensity because the fullness of the whole moon, the moon is shining all the light that it can, reflecting it back, reflecting the sun's light back to the planet. And I always picture the moon as this little teeny tiny satellite that's like a sponge. It's like an empath all its own, and it's absorbing all the space weather, all the cosmic transits around it, and then like pointing it and directing it at us tiny little receptor beings down here on the planet, which is why we feel it, which is why babies are born on full moons and things happen on full moons. There's intensity. Really quick note on the lunar gestational cycle that pairs with this, which is a longer way to work with the lunar cycles. It's a 27-month pattern that begins with a new moon, has a first quarter moon 9 months later, a full moon 9 months after that, or 18 months later, and 9 months after that, or 27 months from the whole original new moon. There's a last quarter moon. So it's like a start to something, a pivot or a check-in, a, a culmination, completion, or like even like a something like forms all the way, and then a release or a psychological resolution at the end. So anytime we have a full moon, we can go back 18 months and think about what we were doing at that time. So the 18 months ago, the new moon in Aquarius in this particular lunar gestational cycle, this is a side note, the Sphere Journal, look back in your planner. It was February 9th, 2024. So you may be experiencing something that's over. I mean, it's interesting when there's fire air energy, it's just quick. And I know for me, the pattern that we were in was working with newcomers from South America. There was an influx of newcomers in Denver in the winter of like late 2023 into early 2024. And I started to get heavily involved um, at the end of January, and the first week of February was I was like completely, I don't even know. I basically started my own nonprofit. It was crazy. Brian was in Spain rescuing galgos, dogs, and I was running an entire business as a nonprofit to support families and individuals who needed support. And interestingly, one of the people that we got very close to through that process, one of the newcomers, literally just moved out from having lived with us this entire time yesterday. So that's like it's so funny because the Aquarius energy is also about humanitarian things and the collective and helping people, connecting your networks. I was able to reach out to my network, like my social media network, basically, and like local groups that I'm in online and put together, how many were there? Maybe 8 of us. When I put out the call, like, who can help me with this? I just took on a huge project to help people who are literally barefoot in a polar vortex in Denver with babies and got 8 people to show up and really help these families. So if any of you are out there, I love you so much. We did it. We helped people start their lives. Get, full documentation and legal status here, situations you cannot even imagine being in with these families. And we've made it. Of course, the backdrop is terrifying for that population, but there's been a lot of really good, powerful stuff happening. And just a side note, anybody who's like in the fear frequency or reading the news or paying attention to talking heads out there in the muggle matrix of things, talk to people who are really doing the work. Talk to people who are really in the places where the things are happening. Talk to the people who are involved themselves, because you will have so much hope and so much love, and you will feel such a higher vibration of energy if you pay attention to what's actually happening and not just theory and talk and judgment and whatever else. Anyway, enough of that stuff. We're trying to stay high vibrational over here. Okay, let's get back to the full moon. So, what did you just finish? I bet you just completed something, or it's on its way to be completed, or maybe you're at the point where you can just sort of like totally let go of whatever that whole thing was. In 9 months from now, there is going to be like the psychological resolution or the looking back from the mountaintop kind of energy of like, wow, I can see and feel that whole 27-month thing that happened, and whatever direction it is. So, not everything's great when it's sometimes with the lunar gestational cycles, there's hard healing themes and things like that happening too. Many layers probably. Okay, so that is one thing that we have happening. I'm going to try to do this thing where I am showing my screen. Here's the full moon on the screen. We've got the moon or the sun, sorry, at in Leo and the moon in Aquarius. And it's at mid degrees of fixed signs. So if you have anything in also Taurus or Scorpio in mid degrees, you're going to also be really feeling this moon personally in a way that's going to be a little more choice point energy, or even like a little intense or poking or getting your attention. But you might have it trining. If you have a fire energy, if you have air energy, you're going to have potential trining energy happening from either the sun or the moon. And that can be lovely. It can be a spark. Um, I'm not even going to try to show you this chart with those details because I drew and wrote all over it. Okay, so what we have as this full moon brings the space weather into a personal, closer to us, feeling illuminated, release intensity situation, what the weather that it's absorbed, that the moon's absorbing to connect and communicate to us, to send us the information, the codes, it's connected to future self energy. It's connected to um, like free your mind, big new ideas, something that you may have never even thought of before that comes in quick, like a quickening, like a lightning strike, like a, oh my God, this is what I'm going to do. That kind of energy. It's powerful. There's an awakening, like a soul level, like the sleeping part of your soul starting to like wake up again and remember. There's a bigger sense of remembering. Um, there's connection points with people. There's more like karmic, like, you can have like soul karma, deep level relationships with people that are like long term, like a life partner or a best friend, or, the people that come into your life where you're like, you're going to be here my whole life or whatever. But you can have those little karmic things where like you're at the grocery store and you just have that little conversation with someone, and there's that little like angelic spark of something magic that just took place, something that was exchanged, something that was shared, and you might not ever see that person again. That kind of energy is really possible. That's like in the realm of potentiality right now. It's just those little hits of information or bits of people connecting where there's something more to it, something deeper or more magical happening. Um, okay, there's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of just take a breath, just get out of your head, come back down into your body, use centering, use ritual, use water. There's like no water in the charts right now, and it's like get in water. We need as much. I'm like sitting here drinking my sparkling water. Anyhow, okay. There are, as you know, anybody who's been paying any attention this year knows that there's placements in the planets that are super new, rare. It's been hundreds of years since they've been in certain positions. There's like stuff happening. It's not just one planet doing that, it's all the outer planets doing that. And so what we have right now, we've been kind of watching the movement and these planets coming into position all year for this moment in time that astrologers have been looking forward to of early August, where there's two new, brilliant, interesting, fun, who knows what sextiles happening with a trine coming in that creates the upper part of this. Right, again, I'm doing two screens, sorry. The upper part of the kite. What do you call this? Hey, Jonah, is this an isosceles triangle? What's it called when it's like little? I don't know. We don't know geometry over here.
Obtuse.
Oh, it's an obtuse triangle. Maybe we do know. This little top guy here, the top of the kite, this is four outer planets. At the top, we have Neptune and Saturn in the early degrees of Aries. We have Uranus in the first degree of Gemini over here. And then we have Pluto in the early degrees of Aquarius. So Pluto's going to hang out here for a while. Neptune's going to hang out here for a while. Uranus is here for a little while. Saturn's here for a bit. And so there's this ongoing mini Grand Trine. It's air, air, fire, literally an ignition. Like that is an ignition. Something's getting started up quick and wanting motion and wanting movement. And then on the 6th, Mars moved into Libra here at the bottom, and that activated or created this trine energy. Makes a grand air trine where we have Uranus in Gemini, trining Pluto in Aquarius, trining Mars in Libra. So Mars is short term down here. So that's why this is so special. And it's amazing that it's happening at the time of the full moon because it's getting activated by Mars kind of pulling into that position. And it's just going to be there for a few days, like just a brief while. And then we're going to have over time, over the next couple of months, the Sun, Mercury, and Venus are going to move through that same position so that will get activated again, but from a different tail. Like the tail will be in the same place, but the planet holding the tail will be different. It's going to be really fascinating energy. I'm not prepared with all the details and the dates, and that would be like a 2 hour class to go into all of that. But I want you to be thinking about for you, where do you have Mars? What's your connection to Mars? Do you have Aries energy? Do you have fire in your chart? Where's your natal Mars? Those are some of the questions to ask yourself. And the what Mars does is it's how you take action, it's how you do things, it's your body and movement, it's anger, boundaries, conflict, standing up for yourself, standing up for what's right, how you hold yourself in strength, having courage, that kind of thing. So I also think about like holding strength in your core grid, like holding your energy field as like a tangible energy pulse that is your self energy versus the etherealness that can come in with other planets. So essentially, Mars, you could pull this kite apart and you could look at Mars opposing Neptune, Mars opposing Saturn, Mars in a trine with Uranus, Mars in a trine with Pluto. All of those are happening at exact moments and exactitude, but they also are happening kind of all at the same time. So you can't really pull it all apart because they're in context with each other. So on the whole, we're talking about a very airy kite with a little spark of fire. And we're talking about if you think about a kite literally lifting off into air energy and you're holding the strings and you're sort of like doing your best to hold the strings and guide it and kind of hope that that tail of Mars like kind of catches the right wind, but you don't have a lot of control. You have to just kind of trust the mechanisms, trust the wind, trust the air, trust the process, trust your ability to hold yourself steady and keep your feet on the ground while you're hanging onto that kite and letting it fly. So what you can do is bring your intention into what you want to be working with to take flight. And this is so rare. Like this configuration is super duper rare. If I could convince you to just meditate for 10 minutes even today, tomorrow, and the next day, Monday, Tuesday, please, like all those days, that would really make me happy for you. There's so much frequency kind of like upgrading or like turning the dial of your energy to a higher frequency that can be happening if you sit still with yourself, sit present with your central channel, with your core grid, with your own soul energy, with the frequency in your bones. Think frequency. Think everything is just frequency. Everything is energy. So using your mind connects to air to be the driver of your awareness and letting your awareness notice the somatic energetic sensation of your frequency turning higher. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, try it. Just try sitting still and imagining those things that I just said, and you'll feel it's almost like you can turn the dial higher, like stronger, and feel, I mean, it's so hard to put words to this, but it has like that this upgrade or this like turning it up kind of quality. And try to just be in frequency instead of your mind. It's a really hard time to not be in your mind because of the air energy. We want to think, we want to be cerebral when there's air energy, but see if you can just let it keep coming back to flow and to frequency. Maybe you see colors, maybe you're seeing a grid, maybe there's like a code kind of vibe happening. Okay, that's just one of the big major rare energies that's happening right now. And that really kicked off. Let me actually, I want to tell you the order because the trine isn't perfect at all the exact same time. The exactitude is like hours and days apart, but there's like an order to it. So the chronology of what happens when matters. So this is what I'm trying to read in my own handwriting. It's kind of crazy to look at. Um, The first thing that happens is I didn't write when. Some of these things already happened. The first thing is freeing your mind, changing your mind, opening your mind, thinking differently, doing differently, because the first thing that happens is Uranus. Oh, that's because I'm looking at a birth chart, so I have it like upside down. The Uranus Mars trine is first. This is all frequency. This is connecting to your future self, living as though you're in the frequency of your future self. Think about it like that. Um, Free yourself of old energies, shed them. Imagine your paradigm grid getting upgraded, like whatever imaginal creative energies you like to work with. and meditation. Second thing that happens, actually, I forget which one happens. There right away, boop boop. Mars opposes Saturn first and then Neptune, I'm pretty sure. Um, I have notes on here for Brian too. Yeah, okay. It's healing the masculine. It's having self-responsibility. Hey, come here. This is one of the galgos from Spain. Um, Having self-responsibility for your new dream. I want you to write that down. Have self-responsibility for your new dream. You should be having a new dream. That should be one of the energies that's here. And you have to do something about it. And so that Mars opposing both um, the bottom and the top of the kite, Mars opposing Neptune and Neptune and Saturn are in a conjunction. That's going to be exact in February. There is going to be something that's like not ready to actually happen all the way yet, but you're going to be able to get there by late winter or early spring. The third piece, sorry, that was the third piece. Then we have the healing of the trauma, healing of power dynamics, excavating to find out what shadow or what subconscious material is kind of like keeping us from that kite taking off, from that future self showing up, from having the self-responsibility for the new dream. Now, advanced, lay this kite over your chart. You can print your birth chart out and mark these positions, which we're talking about one almost 2 degrees of Aries. We're talking about 1 degree of Gemini. We're talking about 1.5 degrees of Libra. And then we are talking about 2 degrees and 14 minutes of Aquarius. And you can start at the 0 degree all the way up to about 4 degrees of all of those signs. And that is where in your chart, which houses, which neighboring nearby planets or points are going to be at play, how this kite is flown for you. You're going to fly it from those 4 places in your chart, which are definitely 4 houses and might also have some planets or points in the mix, which is going to make it just more personal or more connected to the energies of those planets natally for you, if that makes sense. By the way, if you want a reading on this, I just made spaces to do, I'm going to do 5 readings. I've only had one person grab one, so I have 4 more spaces to do recordings for you specific to this kite in your chart. They're $80. You can just Venmo me. I'll put it in the message of this video when I post it on my grid of how to send me a Venmo. And I'm going to do them this weekend. Sometimes when I do recordings and I do the discount for $80, it takes me a while because the whole point is I do it on my time. But I'm going to do it this weekend. So because I really want to help people use this energy while we're in it. And again, this is here for the next few days, and it is such a powerful starting point, ignition kind of energy. So whatever you want your next year and your next decade to look like, it's like so potent right now to be working with it. Between now and the next new moon, which is a new moon in Virgo in 2 weeks, there's 2 new moons in Virgo this year too. So there's going to be these, and it's eclipse season. This is the last full moon before eclipse season. There's so much happening. Okay, the last little thing I want to tell you before we get to the Reiki circle is that in addition to the full moon, in addition to the rare kite energy, we also have one of the best days of the year. Every year, there's a Venus-Jupiter conjunction, the 2 benefic planets coming together. They come together in a different sign every year because Jupiter changes signs once a year, it moves. And Jupiter is in Cancer this year since early June, which it loves to be in Cancer. It's one of its favorite places to be. So it's an extra good, like super good placement. And then Venus also loves to be in Cancer. At least, well, I have a natal Cancer Venus, so I like to think that. Um, when they're together, FYI, it's a very fertile energy, whether you're thinking of like actual human fertility or if you're thinking about just a new beginning or birthing anything. So whatever direction you go with that topic, make your plans accordingly. It's Monday night, the 11th. But we're feeling it now, and it's through the middle of next week. So they come together at exactly 14 degrees of Cancer. Now, 14 degrees of Cancer is like the sweetest, most maternal midpoint of Cancer energies. And it's also where we have Sirius. Sirius, the brightest sky in the sky, the brightest star in the sky. It's the closest star to our own sun. And it also has to do with the Lionsgate. The whole Lionsgate portal has to do with ancient Egypt and the timing of when the star Sirius was visible in the night sky again. It had to do with late summer from a five elements Eastern outlook, late summer being the fifth season. It has to do with Lunafsa. I'm not, I can't remember how to say it. Like the first harvest of the summer in the Celtic wheel and paganism. So starting to like reap the fruits of our labor, like not all the way yet, but the beginning sweet, the sweetest beginning taste of that. And Sirius is known as a star system that has a lot of love and a lot of support and just like really good energy that like has this way that it wants the earth to be good. It wants humanity to be held. It wants there to be love here. And all of that coming together on Monday is so amazing. So that is a different place in the chart than the kite. So if we look at the kite again, um, it's happening this way across the kite, which is interesting. I see it like almost like leaning, like I don't know. It's kind of cool to picture like when I show you the lines in the charts, that you're almost picturing it moving and morphing and like becoming a sacred geometric energy portal or something like that. So that's huge. So if you have mid water sign markings in your chart, you are going to be working. This is just going to be lovely, beautiful. And I'm going to just tell you this. Sometimes we forget to notice the good things. We're always looking for the hard things, the bad things, the challenges. Oh, what's coming? What's going to aspect my moon? What's squaring something? What's Saturn doing? Oh my God, Pluto. But what we really want to be doing to the best of our ability in these times is to be noticing when something is okay, slash maybe even good. Like let yourself feel hope, let yourself see beauty, let yourself feel love, even if there's other negative things happening. I understand that the backdrop in our world is horrific and intense and traumatizing, but it's a lower frequency. The more you go down into that underbelly, that underworld of that lower stuff, unless you're able to boots on the ground go do something about things that are happening, the best thing you can do is keep yourself in a place where you can still feel love and still feel hope and share that with other human beings. That's the best thing you can do. And this energy on Monday is all about that. So I want you to be looking for something that feels good, okay, loving, sweet. It might be simple. It might be walking outside to your garden and there's new blooms that you didn't expect to already be coming up already. And it's just like this sweet moment of beauty. Like it could be something that simple because a lot of the messages right now are like, at least what I'm hearing and seeing and feeling is like, don't get distracted by the frequencies. Like keep it simple, stay in your body, stay in the connection where you are, love the people you love, like be with that energy and do it deeper, slower, more attuned, more present. So I think that's the other energy that's here that's hard to find because of all the ignition, zappy, air, fire, like what's coming next kind of energy. Okay. Anybody out there have any questions? You can send them to me or message me or whatever way to send them to me. Um, what else do I want to tell you? The readings. I do have, I'll have more episodes of my podcast on my YouTube channel soon, which is Trine Astrology, I think. So I will try to be better about putting more information there. I know Instagram's kind of a hard platform to be putting these out, but thank you for being out there. I so appreciate you. The Aquarius full moon is such a beautiful time to um, feel gratitude for the spaces and the networks and the connections that you're in, the places where you connect with humans, the places where you can still feel your own humanity and the humanity of others. And sometimes it is the most simple thing in the world. Like today I drove past, there's like so much construction in the summer, and there's this person, there's construction at the end of our neighborhood, and there's this person that's like holding the stop sign and then turning it to like let the, it's like a one lane situation. And I've seen her out there in the freaking 100-degree weather every single day. And, we're just friendly and wave and stuff on the way by. But two of her coworkers got in the whatever the track whatever the tractor thing is. I can't think of words right now. And they drove it over to her to bring her a little tiny mini cupcake and like stop traffic to like take her this. And it was just the sweetest thing. And everybody that was stopped was like so happy to just say stay stopped so that she could have like this little treat because she's been standing out there all day. Like these little things, like this is what keeps humanity going. This is what keeps hope and love and connection as a frequency that we can still find in these times. So I wish you more of all of that. I'm here if you need me. I hope everyone has a beautiful full moon, maybe a fire ritual, and that next week is positive, freedom seeking, open minded, loving, connected, sweetness for you, whatever you're doing. And I will see you back here soon. Thank you so much for joining me today at Vibrate. I'll be back soon with energy forecasts, practical tips, transmissions, and channeled messages to support you on your path. To help the field expand, please consider sharing, liking, and subscribing, and explore my astrology workbook, my offerings, or join the temple at trine-healing.com. Until next time, remember you are the signal you've been waiting for.